Hey, I'm Derek Hsiao. I've been training Jiu-Jitsu for close to 3 years now. It's pretty much my main hobby outside of work. During the daytime, you'll find me writing Android apps for photos, but yeah, this is basically where I come at night. Also like to play guitar. I've been getting pretty into jazz, learning all my seven chords. I also play a little bit of classical guitar on nylon strings, kind of alternating between the two of them. But yeah, I also like to hike a lot. I like to go running. I like to lift. And yeah, that's pretty much me.
Derek, where'd you grow up?
So I grew up in Southern California till I was like 4, and then my family moved here to the Bay Area to like Cupertino, and I've pretty much just been here ever since. Then I went to school up in East Bay in Berkeley, and then I moved to Seattle for a bit, but then I came right back here to the Bay.
Can you tell us a little about where you went to school and what you studied?
Yeah, so I went to school at UC Berkeley. I studied computer science, and honestly, it was a pretty fun time. I felt like the classes were a little bit stressful. I think the curves were a little bit ungenerous, but overall, I think it was a really great experience, and I'm glad I did it.
Can you tell us a little about what you do for work?
Yeah, so I'm an Android dev, or I should say I mostly write software that runs on Android devices. And right now I work on the Google Photos app, specifically on the photo editor, also working on like some Gen AI image editing tools. So yeah, that's pretty much what keeps me busy in the daytime.
Derek, what got you interested in martial arts?
Well, this is kind of silly, but I was in New Orleans on vacation with some friends, and we were practicing some football tackling and doing a little bit of roughhousing. We also did some sumo wrestling, and while we were out there on the grass, I just thought that this was a ton of fun, and it's something I'd like to do more often, maybe even regularly. And so I signed up for my first gym somewhere in Sunnyvale. Then I continued it when I moved to San Francisco, then moved back down to South Bay, and ended up back at where I started, except this time I joined Kuleana, and here I am.
What areas of jiu-jitsu are you looking to currently improve?
I'm trying to get out of side control better. I'm trying to learn the harpoon sweep. I was trying to learn the ghost escape. But man, they're hard. I feel like it's hard to practice them unless your partner is deliberately drilling with you, because the openings for them are just like very, very tiny windows, in my opinion.
Right. Do you have any advice for newer students?
Don't get hurt. Every time you get hurt, you have like a tough choice. You either have to train through the injury, which means you might aggravate it more, or you have to take time off the mat. But both of those are not great for like long-term jiu-jitsu career. So I feel like if there's any doubt or any possibility of getting hurt, just tap in, reset. And of course, people will still get injured, but as much as possible, try not to.
Do you have any favorite submissions?
Oh yeah, I love the straight armbar. It's just such a clean, smooth finish. And it tends to work on people who are a little bit bigger than me. I also love the classic rear naked choke if I'm able to slip my hand under their chin, which is sometimes challenging, but when I pull it off, it's an amazing submission.
And what type of guards are your favorites?
I really like close guard, the classic one, the first one I learned. It's near and dear to my heart. I also love X guard. I love X guard because it works on bigger people, and you feel very technical when you're able to pull off a sweep with it.
Nice. And from standing, what are your favorite ways to control or take down your partner?
So I like to go for sweep singles. I also like to go sometimes for a double if it's there. Arm drags. They're like dead simple. The one move I can easily remember and probably will never forget.
What's some of the best jiu-jitsu advice you've gotten from someone?
It's just to slow down. I find there's like some feedback loops that happen in jiu-jitsu. If you take things slow and then you spend time learning technique, then you can roll with more efficiency, and so you won't be as sore the next morning, which means you come to more classes and learn more technique. But the cycle also works in the opposite direction, because if you come and you train really, really hard and you burn yourself out, you won't be able to come to more classes, and so your technique will stay where it is, and you'll continue to burn yourself out.
Derek, what's some of the better general advice that you've heard?
Try not to be stressed. Being stressed is like your second job that you don't get paid for. I know like at times being stressed is like a very natural reaction to events going on in your life. but as much as possible, try not to be, because there's a lot of negative health consequences to being stressed, and there's no real reward for it, except maybe for motivating you to get something done. But as long as you can get it done, there's no point in being stressed beyond that point.
Derek, what are some of your favorite TV shows and movies that you like?
TV shows. Oh, I really liked Breaking Bad when it was out. I also really like Better Call Saul. In fact, I just love that entire universe. Movies. No, I think one of my favorite movies was Zootopia. I think it was a very original concept. Art was good. Yeah, I like animated movies in general. K-pop Demon Hunters is also a more recent one that I also really enjoyed.
And what type of music do you like?
I listen to pretty much everything. I'll listen to like K-pop when I'm working. I'll listen to classical jazz when I'm trying to relax or do some more freeform thinking. I also really like 80s rock, like Journey. I also like Muse a lot. Kind of different, but also one of my favorites. Yeah, I'll pretty much listen to anything.
And food and restaurants.
Food and restaurants. Well, I know a really good Turkish restaurant in Redwood City. It's called Nomadic Kitchen. Their menu is small but focused, and I feel like they do everything very well. I recommend getting their lechamuns and their meze, which is just a big plate full of a bunch of different dips and some pitas, and you can try every single one of them. And it's just a very, I don't know, it's a very eye-opening experience for all these flavors you get for not that much money even, maybe like $25.
And favorite places to travel.
So I think one of my favorite places I've been is Costa Rica. It's just a super, super unique place in the world. It's full of rainforest, and people kind of just live in the middle of nature. But it's not like primitive or anything. It's like they have a very functioning modern society that's just embedded in the middle of the woods, which I think is very, very unique.
Derek, can you tell us something about yourself that your Kuleana family wouldn't know?
Yeah, I really love to play classical guitar. That's like the older system of playing guitar where you use like your thumb, index, middle, and ring finger, and your pinky kind of just sits on the sidelines. You can play some really beautiful pieces on like these nylon string guitars. My favorite piece to play is a song called Recuerdos de la Alhambra by a composer named Francisco Tárrega. I highly recommend just listening to that song on YouTube because it's a fantastic piece of music. It's I don't know, colloquially regarded as the most beautiful guitar piece ever written.
Do you have a favorite quote?
Yeah, it's one I'm probably butchering the wording, but it's one from Tolkien. It goes something like, "All we have left to do is to make the best of the time we have left."
Derek, what modern conveniences could you not live without?
Oh, definitely couldn't live without in-unit laundry, especially because of jiu-jitsu. Also really couldn't live without air conditioning. I can't think when it's too hot. I can't sleep when it's too hot. I can't really function when it's too hot. Also feel like the internet, of course. Social media too. I think social media is a very important modern innovation. Everything else I think is quite optional.
What are some of the qualities you admire in others?
I really like it when people are driven by an internal compass. I think a lot of times people do things that they've been told to do or that everybody else is also doing. And I think there is great convenience in that. Like you kind of get a ready-made narrative about your life. And when you tell people what you're doing, they immediately understand because this is one of like the stock paths that exist. And so it's very easy to explain who you are and what you're moving towards. But when you're driven by an internal compass, all of that goes away. You don't get a pre-made narrative. People will doubt you or they might not understand what you're doing. But just having the strength to continue doing what you want to do, I think, is very admirable.
Derek, if you weren't doing your current job, what would you like to be doing and why?
So I would like to get more into farming, more specifically integrated farming, which combines aquaculture, which is like raising fish in a pond, say, with growing plants, and then the wastes of one become like the inputs to the other system, and you just have like this closed ecosystem that produces food in a very efficient way. And I think the reason I would like to do something like this is it seems like a much more sustainable way to produce food. And it's just so interesting to me to build a system like this that is not unidirectional, but rather feeds into itself.
If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
Well, I'll probably go to Egypt, finally see the pyramids and the mummies and all the artifacts that I've been hearing about since I was a kid. I also want to go to Thailand. I think they have like some really wonderful temples there, and also Vietnam to try out all their food.
If you had access to any fast food restaurant and you had to eat that food for 6 months, what would that restaurant be and why?
I'd probably just keep going to Chipotle. I did it in college. I think I did that without this constraint being imposed on me. I just did it naturally in college once, and I survived it, and I'll do it again.
Derek, thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview with us. And in closing, is there anything you'd like to say to your Kuleana family?
Thanks so much for going on easy on me, not injuring me, humoring me when I want to try out a technique or practice something on you. You guys are the best, and I hope I can keep training with you guys for as long as I can.